Hello everyone, welcome back. In this tutorial, we understand the concept of public and private key and how it is very important when we are working in remote environment, right? So let's say example, you have the two system. One is named as client, two other is client, and you want that the some user maybe log in here and vice versa, right? So what we have to do, let's say example, here you have created a user add. Let's say example, we'll move in the root account. All right, and we'll say here user add. All right, and we have to add the user. Let's say example user is Zook, and we'll set a password for Zook. All right, now we want this user, we have to log in on other system, and that system is client 2. So the IP we got here 0.5, 10.0.0.5. So we'll come here and we'll say SSH Zook at 10.0.0.5. Let's ask for password, and we got simply login. And here if we check the host name, so it says mylab.local, that is client.mylab.local, and host name, so it's same, right? So we got successfully login. So this is how we can log in, but let's say that for security reason we have changed the method. We want that user should not log in using password. We want that user should log in using their key, right? So what is the concept of key and how we have to work? So that we are going to see. So let's come out from this because we are going to do some changes, so we'll not get a remote. So we'll exit and we'll close the session. We'll come on the machine client. So this is our client machine, the actual console. The font will be bits uh, so small, so excuse for that, right? So it's a client machine. Now there is a two types of authentication. One you can go for, one we can go for the through password, and other we can go for the key. So now we are on this system and we'll go for the key based login. Okay, so here will which service is responsible for SSHD, that first we need to understand. The service is called as SSHD. So if we say the status SSHD, so it's active and running. If we stop the service, we'll not get any remote, right? If I go ahead and stop it, we'll not get any remote. So we have to make sure always this service is running. In that case, if service is running, then also we are not getting a remote. Then we need to check the configuration file of the server. So the configuration for file for the server is SSH and SSHD. So here is other files is also there with the name SSHCon, that we'll discuss later on. But server part, if you want to make any changes in SSH server, we have to go in the sshd.con. So we'll go here. There are the important things we need to understand. We'll go by four things. One is port number. We'll understand what is port, right? The first port number means every service is running on port. Same way, our SSHD is also running on port called as 22. So let's say example, if you want to change the port to something else, all right, so we can uncomment it, and I will just make sure 4 times 2, right? Now once we made these changes, and if we do here, if we do here a systemctl restart we require of the service, restart SSHD. All right, so we got SSHD restart, that is new configuration is loaded. Now we'll come on the putty session, and we'll say here new putty session, and this will come here, and we'll get the password from here by IPRL. So we know that password is 10.0.0.5. So here we have to insert the password 10.0.0.5, and we hit enter, right? So one moment. So we are getting this output, connection refused. So when we are connecting, it says connection refused. If we go ahead and retry, restart session, it says connection refused. That means something wrong, right? So what is wrong? We have not given a correct port number, because on server side we made the changes, but for client side, while connecting, we are giving the wrong server port. So 10.0.0.5 is the IP address is right, and here we have to write the 4 times 2 is the right port. And so once we write the port, just we'll take the session again. We'll write the IP address 10.0.0.5, and we'll write the port 4 times 2. Okay, so it will ask us to enter the username and password, right? So we'll write the username, so the user which we have added here, so that user we have to enter. So we have created a Zook user, so we'll say Zook, and we'll say the password. So we got an access, right? So this is how the port is very important. So to check that on which port our SSHD is running, we can do that netstat so netstat command is not working, so we have to install it. So yum install, and after that we have to get net hyphen tools. So this package is very important. So meanwhile this package get installed, we'll discuss more on SSHD. So the SSHD one is port number. The other part of SSHD, which kind of login we want. So as of now, if you can see that, we can simply using username and password we are getting inside into the server, right? But there is other way to log in on the server apart from user ID and password, right? So that we are going to see next. So the package is installed. Now let's check with netstat. Netstat hyphen tunlp, and we have to say grep SSHD. So it says it's running on the port number 2222. That means 4 times 2. So in this way, we can check that port number on which the service is running, right? So thank you so much for watching this video.